Alright, so this week's going to be interesting. It's currently Friday, and we last minute decided to go up to Fremont. So I was at work, saw they were racing. I left work early. We came home, kind of thrashed around, loaded everything up, and headed up to Fremont. So it's 400 to win in the 360 class, which is what we're going to try and run. So we'll see how that goes. We thought we were going to be a little late, a little behind schedule, but it rained like basically half the drive up here. And as you can see, they're currently running the track in. But they're trying, I'll give them credit. It's probably going to be a late one, which is a bit of an issue because we're also going to Cridersville tomorrow. It's 250 to win in Clone Medium, which we're also going to run. So 2 days, 2 races, 2 different tracks, like $450 on the line. We'll see how it goes. This one was real last minute, so expectations are low. Just want to go out there and make laps and have fun and see what happens, and maybe take tomorrow a little more serious just because we're a little more prepared for that. So yeah, should be a fun, interesting weekend, and we'll see what happens. Looks pretty good. They got the track worked in.
Phone is green, I'm sorry. I do not want to see people racing at the end of the back straight through turns 3 and 4. You don't start accelerating till you hit the green cone. Is that understood? Because let's be ready, folks. Keep this show moving.
We're still recording, I think.
It's shattered.
I'll give them credit. They're really trying. They're trying real hard, but it's like 9:30 and the only thing we've gotten done is hot laps, and they're out working the track again. So I don't know if we're going to get this going. They kind of need to make a call whether we're going to do this or not, because if not, we're going to be here till like 4 a.m. But I'll give them credit. They're trying very, very hard. I mean, it's not raining, so if they did call it, I think people would be mad. I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't be just because of the state of the track, but they're trying harder than anyone else ever would have, so I got to give them credit. Alright, so they decided to do one heat and a feature. Guess we'll see how this goes. Alright, quick recap from last night. Basically, I left. So, as you all saw, the track was very, very wet, very rough. They were doing everything they could. We went out for hot laps and it just wasn't there. You had to run right up on the tires. If you went any further than that, it was so rough you were bottoming out. It didn't matter how much air you had. So after hot laps, they decided they were going to try and redo the track again to smooth it out, which was a good idea, but it wasn't happening. I mean, it was pushing 11 o'clock and they were still running heat races, the first round of heat races. So we decided to go. We were like 2 hours away, and at that point we were going to get home at like 5 a.m. And even then, even with leaving, we still didn't go home till like 12:40. And as bad as the track was, I wasn't going to take any chances with tearing stuff up. I've had too much bad luck this year, and I've torn way too much stuff up on rough tracks, and I wasn't doing it again, especially with a race today. I didn't want to have to try and thrash and get everything fixed and ready to go for today because of last night. So we left after hot laps. Still didn't get home till almost 1 a.m. It's no fault of their own. They can't help the weather. They tried very hard. Most tracks would have just gave up and called it quits. And maybe they should have called it. Maybe they shouldn't have raced. But I'll give them all the credit in the world for trying. So if we can sneak out again, I'm sure we'll go back and give them another shot. This was no fault of their own. I just didn't want to take the chance of tearing all my stuff up and getting home at 5 a.m. when we were racing today for money. So is what it is. We got some hot laps in. It was an okay day, other than me losing a GoPro, and I don't know. Is what it is. I'll give them credit though. They tried. Even though we only got hot laps in, we still got to get this thing torn apart, cleaned, lubed up, and turned around for tonight. So I mean, it hit the track, so it needs to be cleaned and lubed and gone through, especially since it was rough. Make sure nothing's wrong, and get this thing ready tonight so we can go try and run for 250 bucks. Don't say.
I was looking at the tread depth. Look at the tread depth.
Yeah.
That's what we want. Something's got rubber on it. So that'll be good. See what this one looks like. See if it needs it. See, I don't think they're blistered, but they feel slick. So what do you
Look at that. It's got feather all the way across it.
See, I can't feel it.
You can see it.
Alright. Okay, that's fine. And that's the motor we want.
Yep.
I put those extra sheets right there.
Okay.
So,
Easy. I'll get the tire.
okay.
The other tire. I can
Get your
carry. You want me
keys.
to carry both the tires?
No, I got that. I'll carry a slide. You can lock your shed.
Okay.
Three. And is this ours?
Yeah. No, that's ours.
We got four. New tires. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I want to get us to where we've got some real thick rubber.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, first off, we only got Kirk's races last night because I don't have a GoPro. As you saw, it got squished. But I don't know. It was an okay night for me. I started second in heavy and finished second. Medium was a different story. I kind of got screwed in the. Well, I didn't get screwed, but both my heat races I started on the outside, and if anyone's in karting, the outside is not where you want to start. So I basically got freight trained both times and had to fight my way back up. And unfortunately, since starting on the outside of both my heat races kind of gave me a bit of a disadvantage, I ended up starting like 13th in the feature. And I got up to 7th, so I definitely was moving forward. At one point, I was passing two carts. Could put me up into the top 5, but just as I was getting under them, there was a caution, so I had to go back to 7th, and we never really got a green flag run after that, so I kind of stayed in 7th, and I don't know. I think we for sure had a top 5 cart, maybe a top 3. Just the bad starting spots in the heat races put me behind for the rest of the night. But cart was good. It had some decent speed. It was nice to move up through the field and not get anything torn up. As you saw, Kirk kind of had a up and down night, but that's normal, I guess. Uh, she did get caught up in that crash. It wasn't her fault. She had nowhere to go. The hole closed real quick, and unfortunately, she bent a spindle. But is what it is. She got it back together. She went out there for the feature, and she was also a little faster than where she finished. But she got moved out of the way a little bit, and that's part of it. It happens. But she was definitely like a 6th or 7th place cart, so she did good. Definitely thrashed to put her cart back together. But she said it was better after that than it was before, which is impressive because it was all just eyeballed back together. So she did a good job. No fault of her own on that wreck there. Like I said, the hole just closed, and she was a little better than where she finished too. But racing is the way it is. So okay weekend, up and down. Finishes don't really reflect how the carts were. Is what it is. It's been kind of a rough year. So whatever.